What's going on, Animal Crossing fans? My name is Blaze, and welcome to the show Cliff Notes, where I talk about just simple things I'd like to see added into Animal Crossing New Horizons, or just things that I feel like if they're not in New Horizons, they'll probably be a missed opportunity, or things that I felt like in New Leaf or any of the other games could be expanded upon in New Horizons. So today's episode, we're talking about the police station. And I want to make sure that I enunciate that because I talked about this a couple of times on one of my live streams, a long time ago. And I said police station, but I was saying it so quickly that one of my viewers thought I was saying PlayStation, and they were like, "Why don't you like the PlayStation?" And I'm like, "No, I'm talking about the police station that's in Animal Crossing, the one that Copper and Booker run in your town." So the police station is what we're talking about today. And if you guys have any ideas of how you'd like to see the police station expanded upon in Animal Crossing New Horizons, or what you feel could benefit or improve this Public Works project, by all means, put it in the comments, because I might be able to spark an idea or two, and I don't have all the answers. So if you guys have a suggestion or something that you think would be cool, definitely put it in the comments. But I want to talk about this a little bit because it's come up, and it's been kind of frustrating in my town. Basically, I took it upon myself in my Animal Crossing New Leaf town to build the police station. I put it in a spot where I thought it would be fine, and it's not really in the way. It's nothing's really changed there. It's fine where it is. You can't move it, which is a downside, but that's not the problem. I think what I've come to notice about the police station is that while it's there, like, you don't really get anything out of building that Public Works project. Okay, you get to talk to Booker, that's great. You get a Lost and Found, that's great. But to be perfectly honest, like the Lost and Found, you really only ever get t-shirts, stationery, pitfalls, and the occasional flower. Now, if I'm wrong, and you guys have gotten furniture or higher end items from the Lost and Found, let me know, because maybe I missed something, but the Lost and Found doesn't really seem to be that useful because I can just buy all of those things. You know what I mean? Like, it's not really something that I felt like is necessary to my enjoyment of the game. So, do I want to build this Public Works project, or do I want to just save my bells and never worry about it? That's the question I think I'm going to ask myself on future towns. The other thing that I think is lacking with the police station is that there's like no reason to go in there and talk to Copper or Booker. Typically, you would go inside and you would say, "Hi, Copper. Hi, Booker. What's going on in town today?" And most of the time, they're going to tell you nothing much. There's nothing happening right now, because there's not really. Sunday mornings, Joan comes to town. Sometimes on Saturdays and over the weekend, there's a bug catching or fishing catching tournament, which is great. I don't know really what he says during those times. I've never really tried it. But I'm willing to bet that there is some dialogue there about those things. He might also tell you if Red or Cat or Gracie is in town in your town square. But to be perfectly honest, I could just go to the town square and see it for myself. They're always in the same spot, so it's not like I have to worry about them being in a random place in town. They're always going to be in the same spot. So I don't need to check in with him. I can just go to the town square and check it out. So those are the types of things that I feel like absolutely needed to be expanded upon, because you know what? Even if you ask him, what's going on, he doesn't tell you that, Red's going to be in town on August 14th. He doesn't say that. He doesn't tell you when things are going to actually be in your town until they're there. And when they're there, I'm saying they a lot. When they are there, you basically can see it for yourself. You don't need to ask Copper or Booker for it. So, now I know it sounds like I'm complaining a lot, and I am a little bit. It's a little bit of a rant, but I really want to talk more about how to improve this Public Works project and how to make it a better, more useful addition to your town. There's a few things I had in mind that would really help. Number one is I think that I just lost my train of thought. Sorry. Number one is first and foremost, I think we absolutely need to have a way for for Copper or Booker to tell you when things are going to come to your town. So I mean, that's an obvious answer to some of the complaints that I had. Is if Cat's going to be in your town on August 3rd, then Copper and Booker should tell you that a week in advance. Cat's going to be in your town on Tuesday, August 6th. Okay, great. Now I know, and I can make sure I play on August 6th, so I can make sure I get her invited into my main street. That'd be great, right? The other thing is the Lost and Found. There's been a couple of times where I built things over the top of a Public Works project. So, like, okay, I'm sorry, I built a Public Works project over flowers or over buried things or whatever the case was, and those items are gone. They disappear. They're gone forever, and they don't show up in the Lost and Found, which leaves me scratching my head like, but isn't that where they should go? To the Lost and Found? Not only that, but when you use your slingshot to knock down a balloon, and it lands on the ground, but you have tiles in that area, so it disappears. Shouldn't it go to the Lost and Found? That would make sense, right? And then that way you never lose that item. But what ends up happening is the items drop, and then they're just gone forever. So you don't get to get that present anymore because it's gone. So obviously, those are some of the things that I think need to be addressed. When items disappear or get covered up or whatever the case is, they should immediately go into the Lost and Found. Simple stuff, right? I think it'd be cool to see Copper and Booker walking around town on patrol. And first of all, before I mention that, before I go into detail with that, I want both of them to be back in the game, in the police station. I don't want to have to choose between one or the other because I like them both. And in my town, I chose Booker, so I never get to talk to Copper, and that's a bummer because I like him. I think I want to be able to speak with that character, and I can use amiibo cards, and that'll get him into the game. But I'm talking more of like him always being in my town. That'd be awesome. I want them to take shifts patrolling the town, just walking around, just doing a nice path or nice circle or whatever the case is. I think that'd be really cool to see them out and about and to interact with them while they're out. Maybe they actually found a lost item that they ask you to bring back to somebody. That'd be great. Maybe they actually have missions for you. Maybe they can ping you and ask you a question. Maybe you can actually interact with them much like you can any other villager. That'd be super cool. I think the aerobic sessions need to come back in the summertime, and I mean, I think that was one of the coolest things about population growing is that the morning aerobics happened, I think, during, I want to say July or August. Every morning at like 6 a.m., if you woke up that early, you could actually go to your town square, and Copper was hosting like a workout session. Maybe he could do yoga or taekwondo or something. I mean, who knows? But I think it'd be a really cool way to see Copper and Booker do things outside of their normal police work. That'd be so cool. The other thing is I really want there to be a progression with them as well. I want there to be more of a, when you first get your police station, you have a few things that'll happen, but as you talk to them and interact with them, more and more things will happen that will improve the quality of life in your town. A little bit in the same way that you can talk to, you can go to the Able Sisters and you can actually unlock the QR code scanner by interacting with those those two characters, and that to me, not that specifically, but something along those lines would be great to add to the police station, to add value to it. Maybe there's something you can unlock that that Copper or Booker will be able to do for you that they couldn't do before, just by talking to them and getting to know them a little bit better. That's an easy one, I think. I don't know exactly what that could be, and maybe that triggered some idea in your head, so please feel free to post it in the comments. The other thing that I think, and this is probably the last idea that I had, unless something else hits me and it's spur of the moment, but the last thing I had was that right now in New Leaf, Isabelle is the one that actually goes out and makes your villagers change their catchphrase or makes your villagers change their clothing if it's offensive or whatever the case is. And I really don't know why it's Isabelle and not Copper and Booker. I get that Isabelle will always be in your town, whereas Copper and Booker may or may not always be in your town. So if you start the town day one and you have a villager saying something that you don't like, you're not necessarily going to be able to change that catchphrase if you don't have Copper or Booker, which isn't necessarily fair. And I understand why she does it in New Leaf, but at the same time, I think once you build that police station, she no longer has to do that, and I think that would just make more sense. So even if you in the past talked to her and said, "Hey, Isabelle, this person's saying something offensive," and she went out and washed their mouth out with soap or whatever she did. Once you build that police station, she would no longer be responsible for that, and even if you select it, she would just tell you to go talk to the people in the police station, and maybe there's words you can actually type in to say that I don't want these words to be a part of my Animal Crossing experience. Maybe even it would be something along the lines of like, if you have the police station, you can actually lock certain things to your town so that they can't, like trees or flowers, and maybe even azaleas and hydrangeas. Maybe it's possible to lock those items so that they can't be dug up or chopped down, as long as you have that police station. So people who visit your town from other towns can't just come in and steal stuff, even furniture that you put outside. Maybe that's a way to prevent people from taking the things that you really worked hard to put in your town. So and that one's new, because Animal Crossing New Horizons is the first game that will allow you to put furniture outside. So to have things outside that you don't want people to take, it would make sense to have Copper and Booker prevent that from happening for people who come to your town. So that's really about it that I had anyway. And that last one was kind of like a snap thing that just hit me. So I think the thing about creativity is that once you have that spark of creativity, they just start coming. So maybe I've sparked something in your mind, and maybe you have an idea. So please feel free to put it in the comments. But I want to do a little bit more videos about Animal Crossing in the next couple of months. I've gotten away from it a little bit to cover some other topics, and they're not really as popular. So I'm going to try to circle back to Animal Crossing and talk more about what I want to see in this series of videos. So if you enjoyed it, hit like, hit subscribe. I'm going to do as many videos as I can. And check out my Twitch channel too, twitch.tv/L3LAYZE. I haven't been streaming Animal Crossing lately, but I really want to get back into it if there's a demand. So, and there's a bunch of stuff I want to do in Animal Crossing that I just haven't had the motivation to stream while doing it. But that doesn't mean I won't anytime soon. I will do it. So definitely check that out. But anyway, guys, I'm going to sign off for now. Thanks again for stopping by and checking out the video. Have a great day, and I'll catch you on the Flippity Flip.